Hello, viewers. Welcome back to yet another session where we're getting to know women who have empowered women in this country. And today with me is a lady who's fascinating and has done a lot of activism with PIDA and any other institutions. She's going to talk about herself, and we're going to learn more about who she is and what she's done for the women and girls in this country. So please welcome Miss Judy Obitre Gama to the session.
Thank you. I am Judy Obitre Gama. I am the firstborn in my family.
Wow.
I am a lawyer by profession. I joined the bar in 1994. And so that means I'm an advocate.
Sure.
I have worked variously as a lecturer. I have worked in the corporate world. I have served in government and as a consultant.
So I'll just ask you, do you remember when you started working and how old you were?
Oh yes. I did my law degree in Makerere and then went to Law Development Center. And then straight after LDC, I went and did my master's in law in London School of Economics and Political Science, which is part of University of London. And I returned and got my first job in Four Ways Investments Limited.
Wow.
Which is a company, a holding company. At the time, it had 18 subsidiaries, and I was 24 years old when I started working.
So what was you've told us you worked with the investments company. What's the most thing you remember about that job?
Or about Four Ways Investments?
Yes.
It was a very interesting experience. I worked there for a short time though. I had applied to lecture in Makerere at the then Faculty of Law. And at that time, the recruitment process would take about 3 to 6 months. So I got this job kind of like in the meantime. It was a very interesting job because it taught me a few things about the real world. How to actually apply the knowledge that you have, how to work with people of different backgrounds, different professional backgrounds, different beliefs, how to be able to get your point through and be firm and yet respectful. I was pretty young, and many of the people were like my parents' age.
Wow.
While I was working there, I had 2 supervisors. One was the company secretary, who was an agronomist by profession, but the other was the chief general manager, legal, who was, as he was then, Mr. Francis Joash Ayume. And he had a very good influence on me. He had been a well-accomplished lawyer. He had served the country as Solicitor General, and he had a lot of experience. And I learned a lot from him.
So where did you work before the position you're in right now?
Okay, right now I am an individual consultant. I've done quite a bit of consultancy before. So now I'm back to consultancy. And like I said, I just finished the job, which I've just submitted. But before that, I was the executive director of the National Identification and Registration Authority.
Wow.
And I concluded that contract in July this year.
Wow. How would your friends describe you as a person?
Actually, asked my friends how they would describe me.
Yeah.
And they gave me such glowing tributes. I was like, oh my. So they said that I was an honest person, a person of integrity.
Wow.
They said that I was very straightforward, said it as it is. That is true. It has gotten me into a bit of trouble, but that's who I am. I do it for the best.
Yeah.
They said that I was a loyal friend. They said that I was an achiever. They said I was trustworthy.
Wow.
They considered me to be smart.
Okay.
I'm saying that quite a few.
But
they also said that because that I have a high value system, and they said because I trust, I give people the benefit of doubt, and that I could easily be taken advantage of by someone, because then they would be able to work out my softer side.
So who's your biggest inspiration?
Who's my biggest inspiration? Wow. I think there are many that inspire me. I would say, in terms of my go-to, I am stuck. I'm thinking, golly, how best can I handle this? It's my dad.
Yeah.
It's my dad, because he's a person who is firm, clear on what he wants, what should be done, a person of integrity, a person of principle.
Yeah.
So it's him, because he will tell you, stick to your principles. He will tell you, yeah. You have a value system. He will tell you that should always come first. Do your job, and that's it. Of course, and then when it comes to my professional life, I said Mr. Yume was a good influence on me at the beginning of my professional life. And there have been various other people when I was serving as a corporation secretary. There's a lady called Penina Tibagwa Kasule. She's a very good corporate secretary. Right now, she's company secretary of Centenary Bank. She was my go-to.
Any quote that you live by as you?
I love peace. I love peace. And you'll find that on my profile, I have had for a very long time, peace beyond understanding. Peace beyond understanding. And you need to have that inner peace.
What originally got you interested in your current field of work for consultancy that you're doing?
I started doing consultancy when I was lecturing.
Okay.
And it is you do a certain level of research, you apply knowledge that you have, you do a certain level of research because there is an issue that needs to be addressed. That's what lawyers do anyway. So you do a certain level of research, and then you also work around the subject. Many years ago, I was part of a team that was reviewing the agricultural chemical statute, as it then was. And it was very interesting. I mean, this thing had all sorts of terminologies, carcinogens, nematodes, or something, I don't know what, all sorts of scientific stuff. So I would ask, so what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? As we got along. So when we went to make our presentation, and I was doing my part, like they asked me at the end, do you have any scientific training? I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. And that's the beauty. You're able to learn. But when I was pretty young, at one point, I wanted to be a secretary. At one point, I wanted to be an air hostess. Why? Because these were always very smart people. I think it was first the secretary and then the air hostess.
So what motivates you at work?
Knowing that I'm contributing to something, to the greater good. I am doing something worthwhile. I am applying what I know. I am learning more, and I am imparting knowledge to others. I lectured for a number of years, and for me that was, and I remained in the teaching job just because I actually discovered that I enjoyed the teaching. I enjoyed that interaction. and getting new ideas. It's always very interesting because you do learn from your students, whether they are students in class or whether it is in a seminar environment, whatever. You do learn from them. So and they keep you
engaged.
Yes.
Does your job make you happy and fulfilled?
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Cool. Yes, after the person saying, I'm doing this job, but oh my God, I wish I did something else.
I know. Perhaps you could ask me this question some time ago. Maybe I'll be saying, but it's stressful, but it's this, but right now, my answer is a straight yes.
Yeah. Cool. So, what's the career highlight you're most proud of?
I'm proud of very many things.
Yes.
I'm proud of teaching. I'm proud of having taught all of these people. I'm proud of my students. I meet them. I see them. I love to see them thrive. Many of them have PhDs. By the time I was leaving Makerere, the people taking over from me had been my students and they had their PhDs. And I was very happy and I keep seeing them.
Well, what type of role do you want to take on after this one?
I think I enjoy the consultancy. I would like to continue with it. I enjoy serving on boards. I would like to continue with that. And then I'll watch the space and see what comes up next.
So how would your 10-year-old self react to you right now?
Oh, I think my 10-year-old self would be excited.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old self would be excited to know that I had been able to get to what I wanted to be in terms of being a lawyer, and to know that I can actually spend time and make money in terms of I don't have to have an 8 to 5 in order to have
an income.
Yeah, I think my 10-year-old self
she would be
happy.
proud.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she'd be like, I made it. So what's something you find challenging about your work?
Right now, I don't have too many challenges. In the consulting world, one of the challenges is the pipeline of consultancies. That would be the challenge. That's a challenge which you mitigate by being able to get work on work, okay? But it is a challenge. And then there are times when I remember there's a gentleman called Dr. Moini, whom I did consultancy with many years ago, and he told me that in consultancy you have floods and you have droughts. So when you have a flood, you make sure that you build reservoirs so that it will take you through the drought. Yeah. So that's the way you mitigate that.
Okay. So before we wrap this up, I just want you to talk to the young women there who are taking on activism and advocacy and are fighting for women empowerment and gender equality. What advice do you have for them? Looking at the fact that you have lived your life, you have been on boards, you've served different with patriarchy, and you proving your point as a young person, a lawyer, and a woman. What advice do you have for them?
Okay, first of all, I think it is important for them to be well grounded and have a proper knowledge base, okay? And they should not relent on improving themselves in terms of the knowledge that they have, because you can only advocate effectively from an informed position, because then you would be able to debunk a lot of theories, a lot of hypotheses about women, and you would be able to be successful in your advocacy. In your activism, also remain focused. What are you doing? You want to improve the lot of women. You're not trying to destroy anybody else. You are trying to improve your constituency and have a proper value system. And as women activists, women advocates, people involved in advocacy, practice what you believe in. Let people see from your own actions that what you are advocating is what you yourself live by. Bring up your children if you're one who has children, bring up your children so that the girls and boys are equal. I was brought up in a very equal world. I did not know this stuff of a girl can't do this and this is only for boys. I didn't have any of that when I was growing up. And I think it has helped me a lot because I don't think in that manner. Bring up your children in that way so your girls will be confident, they'll be assertive, and they'll be compassionate.
Definitely. Wow, thank you very much. Okay, viewers, you've heard it all. So let's be grounded in what we're doing and focus. Those are the 2 takeaways from Miss Judy. So thank you once again. I've been Naima Isa, your host. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.